My name is Njoki. I am a third-year intern that Pastor Connor was talking about earlier today. I have the honor of being the pastoral assistant to Pastor Heather, and then I also serve as a prayer team intern. So I'm just going to take a little time to share with you my LCU story and a little bit of how I got here and how it's impacted my life. Alrighty, so my LCU story starts April 2022 when I was also a Preview student. So I was in your shoes. And when I was at Preview, that's when the Lord gave me my confirmation to attend LCU in the fall. And I said yes, and listening to the Lord's instructions and being obedient to his call for me to be in this place has literally changed my life. Like, the trajectory of my life has shifted hugely. And so prior to LCU, so a little bit about me, I grew up in the church. I grew up Southern Baptist, and I loved church growing up. I loved Sunday school, the youth group on Wednesdays, the follower streets, all the things, but I was missing a really big part of it. I had no relationship. Like, knowing of someone and knowing someone are two completely different things. So I knew of God, but I didn't know God. I knew of Jesus, but I didn't know Jesus. And I had no idea about the Holy Spirit. So I just grew up in church having no grid of my identity because he's our father. He's our Abba Father. And I didn't know that. And when you know that he's your father, you know that, okay, you're the daughter. You're his son. And so I didn't know I was a daughter. And so I spent most of my life just trying to grasp my identity in what I was doing. So I grasped my identity in works. I grasped my identity kind of like occupationally. I grasped my identity in what I was doing. So I was a student, and I was a grad student, and I was a producer, and just kind of bouncing around between different roles, and that's how I claimed my identity. And 6 months before I attended my preview, I lost my job suddenly as a producer. And that's who I was. And I was like, Lord, if I'm not producing anything, am I a producer? Then who am I? No idea. And I love my mom, who ended up telling me about this school. And I need to thank her for how much it's really impacted my life, that one conversation. And since coming to LCU, I know my Abba Father. I know that I'm his daughter. I've broken agreement and received so much freedom in so many different ways. I joke about my year one saying the Lord got me like a fish. I had 30 years of junk and ick that had just been building up, and the Lord cleaned me out completely. At LCU, you have so many days that you never forget. And I'll just tell you about one real quick. So this is my year one. We had done an activation. We do a lot of activations, a lot of equipping, and it was actually Pastor Heather's activation. And we were to pick one aspect of our testimony and share it for 30 to 60 seconds, maybe 90 seconds. Yeah. And so this was maybe January, my year one. And so we had a whole fall semester. I didn't speak. I didn't share my testimony. I never did a celebration. I never asked any question. And so we did this activation, and she called for people who have never shared their testimony to share their testimony. And she was addressing the whole room, but it was like she was talking to me. You were talking dead to me. I got teary-eyed. I looked at my life group leader, Miranda, and I was like, she's talking to me. It's me. And I have no recollection of getting up from my seat. I just cut to walking to the front, and I was just standing there. And I was like, oh, okay, now I'm here. Now I have to commit. That was the day where, I spent so many years being timid and bound. I didn't have a voice. I was afraid to speak. I was afraid to pray, all the things. And I broke off something that day, and it shifted the trajectory of my life. Like I said, I'm a prayer intern. I couldn't even talk. I couldn't even speak. And now for my internship, we're speaking on the daily over the mic and all the things. And it's so funny because I was like, Lord, after that day, I'm not going back. I don't want to be silenced anymore. And so I ended up joining the prayer team because I was like, Lord, I need to surround myself with people who talk. And it was a prayer team. So that's why I originally joined the team. But I found a love and a heart for intercession by just saying yes and joining the team. And now I'm a prayer intern, and I love it so much. So if there's a tugging on your heart, there was my heart when I was at Preview, that was my confirmation to come to this school. So maybe that's yours too.